Welcome to our channel. If you enjoy inspiring content that lifts your spirit, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button to support us. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you will never miss a new video. Your support helps us reach more people with messages of hope and faith.
Mom, I really enjoyed coming here to eat. This place is nice.
I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, it's nice. Mouth.
I want to ask you something. I haven't seen Fred with you lately. What happened?
You're right, Mom. I've been thinking a lot about things lately. I've realized something. I have developed the ability to discern character.
That's good, my dear. It's really important because there are people who don't have your best interest at heart.
Actually, there is something I'd like to confirm with you. How do I know if someone in my life is an evil person?
That's a very important question. There are 8 evident signs that reveal an evil person.
1. People that secretly compete with you.
There are people in life who, instead of genuinely celebrating your success, secretly see it as a threat. These individuals are in constant, unspoken competition with you. They may smile when you share good news, but deep down, your achievements stir up jealousy and insecurity within them. Rather than being happy for you, they immediately try to one-up you, making the conversation about themselves. For instance, imagine telling someone that you just got a promotion at work, and instead of congratulating you, they respond with, "Oh, that's nice, but I actually got 2 job offers last week, and they both pay more than yours." Or perhaps you share a personal victory. Maybe you've grown deeper in your faith, overcome a struggle, or accomplished a goal, and instead of encouragement, they subtly diminish your achievement by shifting the focus back to themselves. This kind of person cannot stand to see you rise because, in their mind, your success somehow takes away from their own worth. When David defeated Goliath, the people of Israel rejoiced and sang, "Saul has slain his thousands, and David his 10,000s." 1 Samuel 18:7. Instead of celebrating David's victory, which was a victory for all of Israel, Saul became bitterly envious. He saw David's success as a threat to his own reign, and rather than supporting David, he became consumed with trying to destroy him. He schemed, plotted, and even attempted to kill David multiple times, all because he couldn't stand the idea of someone else outshining him. This is exactly how an evil person operates. They may not always show their envy outright, but their actions will reveal it. They will subtly undermine you, try to outdo you, and refuse to genuinely celebrate your wins.
2. People that pretend to care, but secretly enjoy your downfall.
There are people who wear the mask of kindness, pretending to care about you, while deep down, they secretly take pleasure in your struggles and failures. They are the kind of individuals who smile in your presence, offer comforting words, and may even appear to be your greatest supporters. However, behind the scenes, their hearts are filled with envy and malice. When you face difficulties, they act sympathetic, but inwardly, they rejoice at your downfall because it makes them feel superior or relieves their own insecurities. This type of person is especially dangerous because their deception is subtle. They will check in on you when things go wrong, not because they truly care, but because they want to confirm that you are suffering. If you fail at something, they pretend to be sad for you, but in reality, they feel a sense of satisfaction. They might even disguise their joy in passive-aggressive comments like, "I'm so sorry that didn't work out for you. I kind of had a feeling it wouldn't." Instead of lifting you up, they feed off your struggles, using them as a way to boost their own self-esteem. A powerful biblical example of this is Judas Iscariot's betrayal of Jesus. Judas walked with Jesus, dined with him, and was even entrusted with handling the disciples' money. To the outside world, he looked like a loyal follower, someone who cared about Jesus. Yet, behind the scenes, he harbored greed and jealousy. When an opportunity arose, he secretly conspired with the chief priests to betray Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. Matthew 26:14-16. What's chilling about Judas is that even on the night of the betrayal, he still pretended to be a friend. He greeted Jesus with a kiss, a symbol of affection, while at the same time delivering him into the hands of those who sought to destroy him. Luke 22:47-48. His actions revealed that he was never truly for Jesus, he only pretended to be, while secretly working against him. This is how evil people operate in our lives today. They pretend to be happy for us, but deep inside, they are hoping for our failure. They might even try to sabotage us, planting seeds of doubt, discouragement, or division, all while pretending to be concerned. These individuals are dangerous because they often remain hidden until the moment of betrayal.
3. People that use guilt to control you.
There are people who manipulate others by using guilt as a weapon. Instead of being upfront about their intentions, they twist situations to make you feel responsible for their emotions, failures, or even their bad behavior. They know that if they can make you feel guilty, they can control your actions. You'll find yourself constantly trying to please them, walking on eggshells just to avoid conflict or making them disappointed in you. This type of manipulation is dangerous because it is subtle. You may not even realize it's happening at first. They might say things like, "After everything I've done for you, this is how you repay me?" Or, "If you really cared about me, you wouldn't have done that." Instead of taking responsibility for their own choices, they shift the blame onto you, making you feel like the bad person. Over time, you may start doubting yourself, apologizing for things that aren't your fault, and doing things just to keep them happy, even at your own expense. A perfect biblical example of this is Delilah's manipulation of Samson. Delilah was determined to find out the secret of Samson's strength, but instead of forcing him outright, she used guilt as a tool. In Judges 16:15, she said to Samson, "How can you say, 'I love you,' when you won't confide in me? This is the third time you have made a fool of me and haven't told me the secret of your great strength." She played the victim, making Samson feel guilty as if he was betraying her by not telling her the truth. Eventually, the emotional manipulation broke him down, and he revealed his secret, leading to his downfall. This is exactly how toxic people operate. They make you feel like you owe them something, even when you've done nothing wrong. They create an emotional burden that keeps you trapped, afraid to say no or set boundaries. The danger is that if you allow guilt to control you, you'll end up compromising your values, your peace, and sometimes even your destiny, just like Samson did. The Bible warns us about such people in Galatians 5:1, which says, "It is for freedom that Christ has set us free. Stand firm, then, and do not let yourselves be burdened again by a yoke of slavery." This verse reminds us that we are not meant to live under the emotional chains of manipulation.
4. People that drain your energy like a parasite.
There are people in life who, instead of lifting you up or adding value to your life, actually drain you of your energy, leaving you feeling emotionally and spiritually exhausted. Their presence, whether through constant complaining, negativity, or manipulation, saps your strength without you even realizing it at first. Just like a parasite feeds off its host, these individuals thrive on your energy, leaving you depleted after spending time with them. They demand your attention, constantly seek validation, and often burden you with their problems or emotions, while offering little or nothing in return. At first, it may seem harmless. You might even want to help them, be there for them, or offer support, thinking that it's just part of being a good friend or family member. However, over time, you start to notice that after each encounter, you feel drained, anxious, or uneasy, almost as if you've given a part of yourself away. You may experience physical symptoms like fatigue or headaches, but the emotional toll is even more significant. They never seem satisfied with anything you do for them, and after every conversation, you feel like you've given more than you can handle. In 1 Samuel 18:10-11, we see that Saul's jealousy became so overwhelming that he tried to kill David, throwing a spear at him while David was simply trying to play music to calm Saul's troubled spirit. Saul's negativity and malice created an oppressive atmosphere around David, wearing him down emotionally and spiritually. David, who had once served Saul loyally, found himself exhausted and hunted by the very man he had tried to help. Saul's bitterness drained David's energy, just like how toxic individuals drain the life out of us when they are consumed with their own emotional struggles. These people may present themselves as needing constant help, but the reality is that they don't seek solutions. They seek to drain you. Their needs become insatiable, and no matter how much you give, it's never enough. They leave you with an uneasy feeling, almost like something is off in your spirit. You begin to dread interactions with them because you know the toll it will take on your well-being.
5. People that are masters of deception.
These individuals are masters of lying, twisting the truth, and distorting reality to serve their own selfish agendas. They don't just tell lies, they weave elaborate stories, mix a little bit of truth with falsehood, and manipulate situations so convincingly that even when you sense something is wrong, they make you doubt your own judgment. One of the most dangerous tactics they use is gaslighting, a psychological manipulation technique where they make you question your own perception of reality. They may tell you that something you clearly saw or experienced never happened, or they may downplay their wrongdoing by making it seem like you're overreacting. You might find yourself second-guessing your memory, wondering if you're just being too sensitive or imagining things. Over time, this erodes your confidence and makes you more dependent on them for validation, which is exactly what they want: control over your mind. A powerful biblical example of deception is Satan's conversation with Eve in the Garden of Eden. In Genesis 3:1-5, the serpent did not outright deny what God had said, but he twisted the truth just enough to create doubt in Eve's mind. God had clearly commanded Adam and Eve not to eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, warning that they would die if they did. But the serpent deceived Eve by saying, "You will not surely die. For God knows that when you eat from it your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." These kinds of people can be found in relationships, friendships, workplaces, and even in religious circles. They fake innocence when caught, shift blame onto others, and create confusion so that no one knows what to believe. They are skilled at making you feel guilty for questioning them, often saying things like, "I can't believe you don't trust me," or "You're imagining things."
6. People that cause chaos everywhere they go.
No matter the situation, they manage to stir up drama, conflicts, and division, leaving behind a trail of emotional destruction. Whether it's a family gathering, a workplace, a friendship circle, or even a church, these individuals thrive in disorder. They are the ones who spread rumors, pit people against each other, exaggerate situations, and somehow always seem to be at the center of every dispute. Instead of bringing peace, they fuel tension and make even simple matters more complicated than they need to be. What makes them dangerous is that they often act innocent, as if trouble just follows them. They will claim that they were just trying to help or didn't mean for things to get out of hand, but in reality, they are the ones planting seeds of discord. They might gossip behind closed doors, twisting words to turn people against each other. They manipulate emotions, playing the victim one moment and the aggressor the next, always making sure the attention is on them. Their goal is not to solve problems, but to keep problems alive, because they thrive on the emotional reactions of others. Jezebel was a master at stirring up trouble, manipulating situations, and destroying anyone who stood in her way. In 1 Kings 21, when her husband, Ahab, wanted a vineyard owned by Naboth but couldn't get it, he sulked about it. Instead of encouraging him to move on, Jezebel took matters into her own hands. She orchestrated a false accusation against Naboth, had him executed, and then handed his vineyard over to Ahab as if it were nothing. She used deception, false witnesses, and corruption, all to create unnecessary conflict and get what she wanted. When you notice someone in your life who constantly brings tension, fights, and emotional exhaustion, take it as a warning sign. Peace should follow the presence of godly people, not chaos. 1 Corinthians 14:33 reminds us that God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. If someone's presence is always marked by confusion, problems, and unnecessary drama, they are not operating under God's Spirit but under something else.
7. People that have no genuine empathy.
They can watch you endure pain, betray your trust, or even hurt you directly, and yet, they show no remorse, no compassion, and no empathy. To them, your struggles are nothing more than fleeting events, barely worth their attention or consideration. Their lack of genuine empathy is not simply an emotional distance. It's a deeper, more profound inability or refusal to understand or share in the feelings of others. These people can witness your heartache, and instead of offering comfort or support, they remain indifferent, unaffected, or even find ways to justify the harm they've caused. At the heart of this behavior is a self-centered worldview where the emotions and well-being of others hold little value. They may act caring on the surface, offering empty words of sympathy, but when it comes to their actions, they show a complete disregard for the impact of their behavior. Your pain becomes irrelevant to them. Whether it's a friend who betrays you, a partner who deceives you, or a family member who harms you, they won't lose a moment of sleep over it. In fact, they may even rationalize their behavior, seeing you as the one at fault for the situation. The Bible also speaks about individuals like this in Romans 1:29-32, where it lists the sinful behaviors of people who have turned away from God. Among these behaviors is the lack of empathy, where people are described as having no mercy and inventing ways of doing evil. These individuals have become so hardened that they not only fail to show empathy, but also revel in causing pain and harm to others. It's essential to recognize when you are dealing with someone who has no genuine empathy. You will often find that they are incapable of giving you the emotional support you need during difficult times, and when they do offer comfort, it may feel hollow or insincere. 1 John 3:17 reminds us that if anyone has material possessions and sees a brother or sister in need, but has no pity on them, how can the love of God be in that person? This verse shows that empathy is a fundamental expression of love, and those who cannot empathize with others are far removed from the heart of God.
8. People that sabotage your growth.
These people often have a deep-seated fear of your success or a desire to maintain control over you. Rather than supporting your efforts to better yourself, they subtly or overtly undermine your progress. Whether through discouraging words, manipulative behaviors, or direct actions that hold you back, they seem determined to ensure that you never rise above a certain level. Their ultimate goal is not just to keep you stuck, but to keep you tethered to a state of limitation, doubt, or fear, so that they can retain their influence or feel secure in their own stagnant existence. They may present themselves as well-meaning, offering advice that, on the surface, seems helpful. But deep down, their intentions are to cloud your vision, confuse your path, or make you feel incapable. They might tell you that your goals are too ambitious, that you are not cut out for success, or that you should know your place. These words, though seemingly innocent, are meant to sow seeds of doubt and limit your ability to push forward. If you start making progress despite their subtle discouragement, they may resort to more direct tactics, such as creating problems, sowing division, or even causing you to question the value of your efforts. Every time you take a step toward improvement, they find a way to pull you back down. Joseph's brothers didn't want to see him succeed because his success threatened their own sense of significance and control. They couldn't bear the thought of him rising above them. For years, they sought to keep him in a place of suffering, not knowing that God was working through Joseph's trials to shape him into a leader. Despite their attempts to sabotage him, Joseph's growth was unstoppable because he had faith in God's plan, and God used his circumstances to elevate him to a position of great authority. In Genesis 41, Joseph eventually rose to become the second in command in Egypt, demonstrating that while others may try to sabotage your growth, no one can stop the plans that God has for your life. If you find yourself in a relationship or situation where others consistently sabotage your growth, it's crucial to recognize the toxic pattern. These individuals are not acting out of love or care for you, but are often motivated by their own fears, insecurities, or need to control. Their actions reflect their own struggles with growth, and rather than encouraging you to rise, they want to pull you back down to where they feel comfortable.
Wow, Mom, I'm so happy you shared these signs with me. This is exactly what I needed to hear. I have to move on, there's no going back. It's not good to be with an evil person.
Yes, my dear. If you've noticed any of these signs, then it's evident you're dealing with an evil person. It's best to walk away and protect your peace. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.